So today we're working on a 2011 Bentley Continental GT Speed. Is that a Speed? Yep, sure is. This car came to me with several electrical problems emanating out of the Kessie unit. Uh, Once I got approval from the customer to deep dive on this car, and Lord Jesus, what the hell was Bentley thinking? I mean, honestly, the partnership with Volkswagen was a dumb idea. But anyway, what we're dealing with now is into the cabin. And so this here is your harnesses, and this is where your ECU box, your two ECUs sit right here. You got wiring harnesses. The cables all look worse than they actually are, but they're not too bad. There's no water intrusions into the actual connectors. But either way, I'm going to go through all of that once I take all this out and clean it out. Okay, well, we have the same problem. Grab my light. Same problem over here. We got water intrusion over here. And all of that water is caused by the, what the hell do they call them? Scuttle drains on these. Now, they're in this area in here, and they're supposed to be under there. And it's supposed to be a controlled flow through these areas, right, to drop down, get rid of the water through the middle of the car. However, in this situation, this car was parked under a tree for a period of time, and it just didn't work out. It flooded the interior of the car under the carpets, and I've pulled out the driver's side carpet, and I'll show you that in a minute. But basically what we got here is water intrusion all through here into the front control module that handles all the electronic components like the lights and everything. That one I managed to rebuild. But this car also, because of the water intrusion right here onto this back panel for the fuse box, right, this seal starts to leak. And then that seal starts to leak because all this is flooded up to here, right? When you get heavy rains, that floods up, and your ECUs sit right here and here. And so basically, those seals start to go. It starts to flood down here, come all through there, and it trickles. It's just a trickle effect. And over time, this all gets soppy. This is all dried out now. I still have to take the rest of this interior out. This here is separate from this fuse block here. And that looks wet right now, but that's actually a contact cleaner to keep everything and push all the water out with oil. But this here is to basically turn the ignition on and off. This car also experienced a little bit of a meltdown. So I'll have to repair those fiber optic lines. No big deal. So, going to the driver's side of this car, you know, you've got all of this. You got a Kessie module. That is not the right Kessie module for this car. That's actually my test bench Kessie module. Basically, it's set up for any of these cars. It's like an override. Anyway, is some of you have Bentleys that drop to the ground and the suspension is not working the way you would like, or working at all. And if you know anything about these cars, these bumpers on these Continentals and the GTC convertibles and coupes, they are ridiculously expensive. I think I heard $5,000 to $7,000 from Bentley. I mean, it's a Bentley, let's be honest. Personally, I drive a Benz, that one. But this is not my cup of tea. I just fixed this shit. So, if you want to get your car off the ground, I have to tell you, do not touch the relay for the actual air suspension pump. It won't work. These systems are pretty homogeneous across all the model line, or not model lines, but manufacturers. Whether it's some in that car in the rear, or the Airmatic in my other E, or, well, the C63 doesn't have one. Much the same setup. They all do the same shit. You have a pump, you have a reservoir tank for the a pressure tank for the air, and you have the struts, level sensors, whatever. So I've seen some videos online, and when I say videos, that's a plurality, and there's not really that many videos on these things. So I'm going to tell you how to do this and how not to do this. If you need to get your car off the ground just to move it, right? So you have several relays here, right? Let me get, oops. So you have several relays, right? Now, this relay here is for the airmatic. Okay, that relay is to start the engine, or sorry, starter relay. Don't mess with any of that stuff. That's all other stuff. What we're focusing on right now is this relay right here. This relay is for your air pump. Now, if I hit it, we have the air pump turning on. The problem is you have a solenoid block electronically controlled from the air suspension control module. Now, if you want to get to this, right, and power this car up, where's my little pointing thing? Because I'm not going to be able to show you with my big ass fat finger. Screwdriver. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Need that. So, driver's side dashboard fuse block. We have right here this fuse right here. That is for the control module for your air suspension. You turn this, you put 12 volts to this, and you can jump it from either one of these 12 volts, but you want to stay within the amperage range of that. You run 12 volts from that to there, and it will turn the control module on. The control module will control the pump and everything it needs to do to get the car raised to the level that you need to get it to be able to safely move these cars and get it on a flatbed tow truck or however you're going to move it. With that being said, don't leave this plugged in, okay? The car will stay live, all right? But you can get it up until the car returns to its factory setting or whatever setting it was set previously. And that's pretty much how you get your suspension on these things brought up when you need to actually get the car moved safely. Because those fuckers sink all the way down. So, the rest of this, I'm going to do another video about all this and the ins and outs of this nonsense. For you Bentley owners out there, I mean, these are really nice cars, but Lord Jesus, stop parking them under fucking trees. Take care of these goddamn cars. If you can't afford one of these cars, just don't get one. It's not, trust me, you cannot afford this car. I found out the other day from my customer that we had to do a starter on this thing. And you literally have to take the engine out of the car, which is wild. Actually, keep that in mind. Almost every major service on this car, and even some moderate services, the engine's coming out of the car. There's just no way around it. It is what it is. So, with that being said, enter at your own risk. Have a good day, and like and subscribe.